How common is cheating today? Speaking broadly, cheating is very common. Estimates vary, but even the most conservative numbers are like 1,520% of people have cheated. It kinda depends on who you hang out with and luck. Most people I know, including myself, know someone who has been cheated on or have cheated on someone else. However, that's mostly acquaintances. I have never cheated or been cheated on that I know of. My friends have never cheated or been cheated on that they know of. I've known like 5 people total in my life maybe. But since know a lot more people who haven't. It also depends on what you consider cheating. If you think things like hugs or spending time with anyone of the attracted sex is cheating, you're more likely to see a lot of cheating. Or more commonly, if you think watching porn is cheating, you're more likely to consider more people cheating. I don't do these types of things anymore, but I used to sleep around a lot when I was younger. I've had 2 ex-affairs with engaged women who both went through with their weddings. One of which has children now, and also an affair with a married woman who ended up separating. I don't understand how you can just casually cheat and then proceed to get married without ever telling you're so, but it leads me to believe that it might be more common than most people assume, but is just kept secret. I've also been cheated on a few times and have cheated myself. I say this with no pride, as I have since changed my behavior, as it is simply not worth it in my opinion. I realize this is completely anecdotal, but I am shocked how many committed women have been willing to cheat in the past that I've personally known. I did hang out in the music per bar scene a lot at that age, so that might have something to do with it. It does seem to me that many people are willing to cheat if the right conditions are met. Whatever those conditions are vary from person to person, but I believe almost everyone has their price. I've been in 3 long-term relationships in my life, and 2 of the women cheated on me. I don't know if that's typical, but most of my friends have been cheated on at least once. It is very common, and I used to not know how common it was either until I was about your age. I'd say at least half of people do it at some point. Very common. Ask any woman who has been on dating apps if she has come across taken or married men. She probably has. I sure have. I've even been on a first date where they confess they are married, and that's happened more than just once or twice. The people that talk about it are going to be much louder than the people who don't. It's probably not really more common now than whenever. But it's just easier now for those who are going to do it with the internet. I would say the majority of people don't cheat. But I think the amount of people who cheat has changed at any point in history. When people do things that aren't okay, they tend to hide it or not talk about. Especially so historically. People weren't allowed to divorce if they were being mistreated. It wasn't better times. They just hid the bad things they did and the hurt that follows it. Today it's okay to break up with someone who does that to their partner. It's okay to talk about it. And with more discussion brings more of a chance to hear their story. That might explain your perspective. IDK. My 2 cents. Same as it's always been. But it also has a lot to do with the people you're surrounded with and the age of the group. My friend group is quite large, and none of us or our partners have been known to cheat. However, when I was younger, in my late teens and early 20s, we were all cheating. It's wrong and all, but at that age relationships aren't going to last, so people tend to do it a lot more. For one thing, there is less social stigma to being intimate without being married. So people have not had many hurdles preventing them from engaging in serial monogamy. In the past, a person would only have had 1 cohabitation in their life, while today a person might go through 2 or 3 with different persons. However, I think that the level of infidelity in committed relationships, marriage or cohabitation, is probably the same as it has been. The thing to remember is that a lot of people get into situationships and aren't actually terribly committed to their partner. This is why you see a lot of boomer humor being super, "my wife is a bitch" kind of stuff. Now obviously there's more factors at play, but I'd have to imagine a lot of people that cheat do so because they never really felt a big spark for their partner, and it was just something where they went along with the path of least resistance until they found a more alluring partner. This has sort of changed with the younger generations. People are waiting longer to get married and spending more time in that weird limbo stage before actually committing. There's less pressure to settle down and have a family by your early 20s, so people are finding better matches. That's something impossible to call. It really depends on the person. No culture condones cheating, but every culture has cheaters, even with the ramifications of getting caught. Funny enough, it's easier to get caught now than before. With phones and social media, it's really easy to get caught if you terrible person. You said that you're 19. Once you grow a little older, you'll see that all the things that we were told were bad and bad people do are almost normal. IDK dude. I've been cheated on a lot, so I've never done it. But I know a lot of people who have cheated and never benefited. The fact that some people cheat doesn't mean it's not immoral. It is and always has been immoral. If you cheat on someone that's a good loyal partner without simply breaking up first, you're a waste of space on this earth. Less common than it used to be, from what I understand. It 100% depends on the social group. I am fortunate to have several groups of friends at the age of 30. One group, nobody has actually been cheated on beyond some petty high school, college relationship stuff that I would not count. I have another group of friends and several of them have been cheated on. Keep in mind that someone who cheats once is way more likely to do it multiple times. It's like divorce rates. If you remove the people who have gone through multiple divorces from the count, the number drops way down. There's data out there somewhere, but who knows if it will really give us an answer. We're only ever going to get numbers for cheating and getting caught or coming clean. A considerable amount of infidelity happens without anyone but the cheater ever knowing about it. So, more than you think is a pretty accurate answer for now. I do think, culturally, we make a bigger deal of cheating than we probably should. We know horny people make bad decisions sometimes, and that loving someone doesn't especially inoculate a person from feeling sexual attraction for other people. It's like lying. We shouldn't do it, but plenty of people do. And it doesn't necessarily make someone an irredeemable person. Some instances of cheating are definitely less forgivable than others, though. Perhaps it's our artificial imposition of the value of monogamy and sexual fidelity on a species who clearly doesn't uniformly share a disposition to be monogamous or faithful that is the problem. Worth examining. Edit. For the people who think I'm excusing cheaters because they were horny, no, it's still definitely their fault if they break a promise to their partner. I'm simply stating that being horny increases the chances of cheating, because of course it does. But that's not to say people lose control or, more relevantly, responsibility for their actions. As far as the claim that I'm shaming monogamous people, also no, I'm only saying that if the cultural default for a relationship is monogamous, it creates pressure for people who don't especially want to be monogamous to pretend to be for the sake of being in a normal relationship. Obviously, we should all establish rules and boundaries for our own relationships regardless of what is conventional. So monogamous people should get together and non-monogamous people should be with people who don't expect monogamy. But you'd be mistaken to believe that the existence of a social norm favoring monogamy hasn't made Some closet, non-monogamous people make promises they're not exactly inclined to keep. Again, none of that is to say cheating isn't dishonest and hurtful or that there's anything wrong with a monogamous relationship if both people want it that way. I have only tried to say that human nature, varied as it is, will always trump our ideals. And it's worth examining our beliefs about relationships so we're not making people fit into boxes they don't belong in. More common than ever before, since it's easier than ever to connect with people secretly. Before you had to go out into the world and physically find people and then organically have a spark. Now you are in bed messaging 50 people and swiping on 100 more and talking to 20 others if you want to.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. TooAfraidToAsk is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.